was to be Timmy's here. It's safe to say that Lionsgate this year had not really had the best track record. I mean, they've done some great stuff, but box office wise, yeah, with not Expendables, with The Crow not doing well, Borderlands, Megalopolis, and whatever. Hopefully, 2025 will be a better year for Lionsgate. So here are the Lionsgate movies that are set for release in 2025. There'll most likely be some that will slip onto the cracks as obviously, but the first Lionsgate film coming out is Den of Thieves, Pantera, which is of course the follow-up to 2017's Den of Thieves, where lawman Big Nick O'Brien gets embroiled in the treacherous and unpredictable world of diamond thieves as he pursues career criminal Donnie Wilson to Europe. Now, of course, this got Gerard Butler coming back, O'Shea Jackson Jr. It does look a lot of fun. I really quite enjoyed the first film. It was pretty entertaining, so I'm looking forward to check out the sequel. Oh, on top of it, there's also The Last Showgirl, which is getting like a wider release in January. Which, by the way, when I go see The Last Showgirl, I will be doing a list of my top favorite Lionsgate movies of 2024. I was gonna do that earlier, but I kind of want to wait till I see The Last Showgirl before I make that list. So that's gonna be the best Lionsgate of the year is gonna be a little delay, but anyway. Also coming out is Wish You Were Here, which is the new Julia Stiles film. It stars Aladdin himself, Mina Masao, Jennifer Grey, Kelsey Grammer. When a perfect night with a perfect stranger, and suddenly the next morning, Charlotte searches for her answers and meaning on her in her life. However, she soon uncovers a shocking secret that changes everything she knows about the man who captured her heart. And actually, the preview for this looks okay, I guess. I mean, Julia Stiles, I think, looks interesting. I mean, it's always nice to see her and stuff, so could be intriguing. All right, there's also Elaram, which stars Sylvester Stallone, Scott Eastwood. Living off the grid while vacationing at a winter resort, Mary spies Joe and Laura comes under fire from the members of the Old Guard who suspects they've joined an elite team of rogue spies. And this looks terrible. It's definitely going to be like most likely those home video films Stallone does. So yeah, there's also Flight Risk, which if you guys remember, this was supposed to come out back in October, but they delayed it. So there's that. It stars Mark Wahlberg and is directed by Mel Gibson. A U.S. Marshal boards a small plane to transfer a government witness into New York. As they cross the Alaskan wilderness, tension starts to rise as not everyone on the flight is who they appear to be. And this does look like to be pretty fun. Although Mark Wahlberg's bald cap looks really weird, but could be interesting. You got Topher Grace as the villain in this. That should be cool. So could be interesting to see. We also got a film called Like Father Like Son, which stars Dermot Mulroney and Ariel Winter. Of course, you might know her from Modern Family fame. Eli's father awaits execution for murder as Eli experiences violent tendencies himself as he takes drastic steps to break the family cycle of brutality. And that looks pretty terrible, to be honest. Dermot Mulroney I've always liked, but this doesn't look so good. All right, now coming in February, we got The Unbreakable Boy, which stars Zachary Levi. It's where Austin, who's this kid who has a brittle bone disease and autism. His father, Scott, always keeps Austin happier. And despite Zachary Levi's controversial stuff lately, I admit this does look like be interesting. Check out. Does look interesting. So hopefully it could be a good one. All right, there's also Uppercut, which stars Ving Rhames, and it's where about Tony, who's a determined female boxer trying to break down barriers as she redefines what it means to be a woman in today's world. And this looks pretty terrible. So there's that. Um, Not really any Lionsgate movies coming out in March or even April, but in May there's the new film Hurry Up Tomorrow, which stars The Weeknd, Jen Ortega, Barry Keoghan. I still don't know what this is supposed to be about, but it is, of course, from the same director of it Comes at Night, Waves. So that there piques my interest. Hopefully, it's better than the Idol, but we'll see. In June, we got Ballerina starring Ana de Armas. Of course, the John Wick spinoff. This probably I'm definitely more excited for. It does look a lot of fun. You know, the John Wick movies. Like I feel like the John Wick films is what really keeps the lights on with Lionsgate. You know, because say what you want about John Wick and all that, these movies make money, and I'm pretty sure Ballerina is gonna make some good dough. So, all right, now September we do got Saw 11, but due to the fact they haven't even filmed the thing, and there's been like some dramas here and there, who knows if we're getting the Saw like this a new Saw film. And of course, there are reports that the movie could actually might get a release date pulled. So we'll see. I mean, say what you want about the Saw franchise. I think the Saw franchise and the John Wick movies are pretty much Lionsgate's moneymakers. So they're definitely going to continue doing Saw. Just if it's, are we going to get a new Saw next year? What had you to say? All right, now the one that's really going to be a big winner for Lionsgate, and this is the Micah Jackson biopic, Micah. I tell you right now, they had a terrible box office year in 2024. They're going to get turned around come next year because this thing, I guarantee you, is going to be a massive hit. You know, of course, you got Jafar Jackson playing the King of Pop. I, I think this is going to be great. You know, I'm hoping it is, but I'm having really hopes that this is going to be a great one. Of course, it's directed by Antoine Fuqua, who's made some really good stuff. So, definitely can't wait to see a trailer for this thing. Maybe we'll get a trailer during the Super Bowl. Who knows? But all I know is this thing's going to be massive. Like, it's going to be interesting to see if it will be massive, but we'll see. All right. Also, in October we got Good Fortune, which they actually showed a little preview for this at to attendees at CinemaCon. And this movie, you know, speaking of John Wick, by the way, it stars Keanu Reeves as well as Seth Rogen, Aziz Ansari, who also directs it, Sandra Oh. It follows an angel named Gabriel, played by Reeves, whose failed attempt to show a struggling man, played by Ansari, that money doesn't solve one's man's problems by body swapping him with a wealthy employer, Jeff, played by Rogan, results in Gabriel losing his wings while working at while he the work he did as an angel begins to unravel around him. I don't know why I'm getting a little bit of like obviously body swap. You'll probably think, oh, is this like Freaky Friday? Some reason, just from the sound of it, I'm getting more of a Trading Places vibe more than a Freaky Friday vibe. I don't know, just had like remember the Eddie Murphy Dan Aykroyd classic? Get a bit more of that vibe here, but sounds like it'd be pretty fun. Like people who saw the preview at CinemaCon was raving about this one, so definitely looking forward to see this. All right, there's also Now You See Me 3, which I can't say I'm more that excited for because the first Now You See Me is great. It's a lot of fun. The second one was a bust, so hopefully the third one will be a good one. But what was it? In December, we got The Housemaid, which stars Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. It follows a struggling woman who is happy to start over as a handmaid for this elite couple. It's directed by Paul Feig, who gave us stuff like Ghostbusters, you know, the female version that is. He also did like Spy, um, oh yeah, The Heat, Bridesmaids. Of course, you got Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried is in this. Also, the lead guy from It Ends With Us, not the one who's probably canceled, but the main lead guy in It Ends With, the good looking guy. So I don't know, I think this could be an interesting one, say at least. So could be cool. All right. Now, other films that Lionsgate have out that don't really have actual dates yet. Speaking of Sydney Sweeney, by the way, we got Americana, which stars Sweeney, Paul Walter Hauser, Halsey. After seeing Halsey and Maxine, I really want to see Halsey like break out into the acting world because she was actually, even though she didn't have too much to do in Maxine, she was actually not so bad at her parts. Oh yeah, Simon Rex is also in this. Eric Dane, who was also in Euphoria with Sweeney. When a rare Lakota ghost shirt falls onto the black market in the small town of North Dakota, the lives of local outsiders and outcasts is violently intertwined. And this actually does sound pretty cool. You know, it premiered at one of the film festivals. I think it was South by Southwest, and people were raving about this thing. So I'm definitely intrigued to see this whenever it comes out. I thought it was going to come out this year, but guess 2025. All right, there's also Freaky Tales, which this also premiered at one of the film festivals, which I believe it was Sundance, if I'm not mistaken. Not this year. I think it was this Sundance actually. But anyway, it's directed by the same people who worked on Captain Marvel, the first one that is. Starring Pedro Pascal, Jay Ellis, Ironheart herself, Dominic Dorn, Namorni, Namor, Normani, of course, from Fifth Harmony fame, Ben Mendelsohn, Jack Champion, who was recently in Scream Sex, and the late Euphoria actor Angus Cloud. Sadly, this is Angus Cloud's final film. It depicts four interconnected stories taking place at real locations and during real historic events in 1987's Oakland, California. And it actually has some pretty good reviews. I think it has like a 60 something percent Rotten Tomatoes, so that's pretty cool. Sounds interesting, so could be interesting. And now Lionsgate obviously has always been known for horror, so they do got a couple of horror stuff out next year. Who knows if we're getting that next star, but this one actually seems been in the pipeline for quite some time. It's a Pete Davidson movie called The Home. Now this is from the same director of the Purge movies. Well, the first couple that is. Yeah, the first three, if I'm not mistaken, and the others was directed by someone else. But anyway, this stars Pete Davidson as a troubled man who starts working at a retirement home and realizes its residents and caretakers harbor sinister secrets. And he investigates the building and its forbidden four floors. He starts to uncover connections to his own past and upbringing as a foster child. And this is supposed to pretty much have like creepy old folks, so that's interesting. Pete Davidson in like a straight up horror. Technically, he did do that buys, which was pretty good too. So I don't know, this could be interesting to check out. So could be cool. All right. There's also The Strangers Chapter 2 and 3, which I can't say I'm all that excited for, especially after how terrible Strangers Chapter 1 was. But we'll see. Maybe it'll be a good one. Who knows? All right. There's also The Grey coming out, or In the Grey, I should say. Which is uh, the new, the new Guy Ritchie film, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Henry Cavill, Rosamund Pike, Isaac Gonzalez. Two agents and a woman team up to get hold of millions of dollars of stolen money. And that could be pretty fun. I mean, Guy Ritchie I've always quite enjoyed. Of course, you got, Henry Cavill's always great. Jake Gyllenhaal's good. So this could be interesting to check out. They also did actually showcase this at CinemaCon too, which lots of people were raving about the preview for this. So, alright, there's also The Surfer coming out, which stars Nicolas Cage, who's pretty much being more popular now than ever. When a man returns to his beachside hometown in Australia, he is humiliated in front of his teen son by a local group of surfers who claims ownership. And that there sounds like it'd be pretty cool. Of course, Nicolas Cage, again, he's been really having like an even better career that he had before. Like, whether it's Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, whether it's Renfield, and all. I mean, he is really doing a lot of cool stuff lately. So hopefully this one could be a good one. All right, there's also Above the Below, which is co-directed by Idris Elba. A trio of astronauts survive a destructive re-entry to Earth and find that they are cut off from this world. Sounds interesting. Now, Idris Elba did direct that Concrete Cowboy film on Netflix, which was pretty decent. So hopefully this is gonna be another good directorial effort from him. All right, we also got Anniversary, which stars Diane Lane, Zoe Deutsch, McKenna Grace, Dylan O'Brien, Kyle Chandler, and it's where a formerly close knit family is torn apart upon the rise of the new movement called the Change, sweeping through the country. That could be interesting to check out. I like Diane Lane. Zoe Deutsch is always good, so that could be a dream. We got the film. Now, I'm not really 100% sure this is coming out next year, but we got Power Ballad, which is directed by Sing Street director John Carney, starring Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. Depicts a conflict between a rock star and a wedding singer. Again, I haven't even heard they shot this thing or not, but it's been in the pipeline for quite some time. But it does sound like it'd be interesting, to say the least. You know, Nick Jonas. If I have to take a guess, he's most likely, I'm guessing, playing the rock star here because hey, he is a rock star. Paul Rudd, I'm guessing, is a wedding singer. I don't know, but you also got Jack Rayner, who was also in Sing Street, which is so good, man. He John Carney also did that for and the Sun film on Appa. He also did Begin Again once. He's done some really good music type stuff. So hopefully this could be a good one. All right, there's also Shadow Force coming out, which the preview for this was also shown at CinemaCon. It's directed by the great and narc director Joe Carnahan, starring Kerry Washington, Omar Sy, Divine Joy Randolph, Method Man, and Mark Strong, where Kara and Isaac were once the leaders of a multinational special forces group called Shadow Force, but broke the rules by falling in love, and they go underground to protect their son, with the rest of the Shadow Force hot on their trail. And they're saying like this is supposed to be in the vein of something like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which definitely has a little bit of a Mr. and Mrs. Smith vibe there. Of course, Omar Sy, Kerry Washington, both in this. Could be pretty fun to check out. All right, we also got Bob Travano likes it, which of course stars Barbie Ferreira from Euphoria fame and John Leguizamo. It centers around a young woman who searches for her estranged father, Bob Travano, online and forms a bond with a different man of the same name. So that could be interesting to check out. Leguizamo, I think it's always terrific. Barbie is pretty good, so could be intriguing there. There's also Riff Raff, which stars the likes of Ed Harris, Bill Murray, the aforementioned Pete Davidson, Gabrielle Union, Jennifer Coolidge. The life of a former criminal is thrown into turmoil when his old family appears for a long-awaited reckoning. That sounds like be interesting. This actually did premiere at one of the film festivals, which I believe it was TIFF this past year, and that got some pretty good reviews. I like Pete Davidson. Say what you want about him. The guy's pretty hilarious at times. So that sounds like it'd be pretty cool there. It's also directed by Dino Mattel, who gave us like your guide to recognizing your saints, fighting, Empire State. So he's done some cool stuff there. So sounds like it'd be pretty interesting there. That's pretty much all for here. Now, obviously, again, Lionsgate could always slip under the cracks and acquire something in between, like last minute. But let me let you guys, what are some films from Lionsgate coming out in 2025 that you're interested in? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notification. This is